So, you've just picked up the new Samsung Galaxy S23 and you're wondering, how can I make this mine? How can I maximize my new device? Well, here are some of the things that you need to do first. Let's start with the lock screen. So this screen that you've got right here, you can actually customize it to make it your own. So if you press and hold the screen, it flicks up to let you know it's ready to be customized. So here you can change the wallpaper, for example. But what's really cool is this information here, you can actually change those. So if you tap here, you can change the way that it looks. You can change it into an analog clock. You can change the color and you can customize it to make it your own. You can even change the font as well. So you can play around with that and see what you like and what you want to see on there. You can even remove this information here or add your contact information. This is pretty cool. So if you ever lose your smartphone, people will be able to call you, for example, and know that it's yours to let you collect your phone. You can even move this around and change what this is. So we can change this to Chrome and we can change this to Bixby or whatever, maybe a torch light. Some of this stuff will require to unlock the phone first to actually be able to use it, like the Chrome app, for example, you'll be able to open it, but you'd have to unlock your phone first. Once you're done, just click done and wait for it to save your settings. And there you are. You now have your customized lock screen. If we swipe to unlock, we can also customize your home screen as well to make it your own. So if we pinch to zoom like so, you can change things like your widgets, your theme, your wallpaper sizes, and all that stuff. But what's really cool here is when you go to widgets, you can add, let's say you can stack your widgets as well. So if we go here and go to calendar, we can add my birthday, or whatever this event is. But you can also move that around as well. So you can change where it is. You can adjust the size. So press and hold it on the home screen. You can adjust the size to fit the grid, depending on which widget you decide to go for. When it comes to the stack, you can press and hold it again, do create stack, and you can have that to have, I don't know, maybe have Chrome with it as well. So maybe New York Times News, we have that. So now when I scroll across, it's now stacked to give me different options. You can also change that stack as well by just pressing and holding it, and you can change stack to have different things on there again as you wish to do so. So you can edit stack, you can edit it, change it, remove it, entirely up to you what you want to do. One thing you can also do on the screen here is change the grid size. So if you go back here again, we go to settings and you have different grid options here. So we have home screen grid, which is currently set to 4:5, but you can go to 5:6. That allows you to add more app on that screen space that you have. So I normally have 5:6. So if you go back to settings, into the screen settings, you can change apps grid size as well. So again, you can change it to 5:6 so you can have more apps on that particular screen. Click done. Let's go back again into settings. That same place, you can change your folder grid as well. So again, you can have more apps stored or saved in your folder grid. Next, there's actually a quick way to drag the quick app toggle at the top down. So instead of dragging it all the way down from the top of the screen, which means you have to reach with your thumb, you can also do it from the middle of the screen. So you can do it like that. So that allows you to access that very quickly. So if we go here, we can also edit what we can see on here. So for example, your screen brightness, you'd have to drag it all the way down to adjust screen brightness. But you can actually change that so it appears here. So if we go down, tap that 3 dots up top there, quick panel layout. Here you can change what's there. So you can do show always for the screen brightness, click done. So now it's always there. So you don't have to always drag all the way down to change that. All these buttons here, you can also change them as well and rearrange it. So if we go to that 3 dot again, edit buttons. So now you can move things around, you can add to it and so on. So for example, we can add, let's see what we can change here. Let's do create notes. We can move that to one of these. So that's now there. So click done. Next time, create note is always going to be there for you to create quick notes on the go without having to drag all the way down and move around on the settings and all that stuff. One thing we have on the screen as well is your power button there. So at the moment, you go there to power it off, or if you press this button, it takes you to Bixby, which most people don't use. So what you can do is change that setting as well. So if you go into settings, we can search for any setting that you want. So for example, we can do power button to change the side key settings. So here we have your side key settings to do different things. So at the moment it's set to wake Bixby, so we can do power off menu. So now if we press and hold this, that will give us the power off menu, so we can power it off, restart, or whatever we want to do. In here as well, you can go back to that side key settings and change things back as well if you prefer to do so. Next, we go into settings and we have some new options here, for example, modes and routines. So if you go into modes and routines, it allows you to set different modes and routine depending on what you like to do on your daily basis and stuff like that. So in modes, for example, you can have sleep mode, which turns off certain notifications. So that way, when you're trying to sleep, you're not disturbed at all. Next, we have sound settings, which means in here we can actually improve our sound quality and sound settings when listening to music, playing games, and so on. So if I go back to sound and settings, so we go to settings, we go to sound and vibration, go all the way down to sound quality and effects. In here, you should flick on Dolby Atmos and Dolby Atmos for gaming. So that way you get better and improved sound quality for your gaming and for listening to music and so on. You can also adjust your equalizer if you know exactly what you're doing. Back to settings, when we go into display settings, we can change things around here as well. So we have light mode, dark mode, you got adaptive brightness, which means it will adapt to the environment that you're in. And this will also help with battery saving. So sometimes it's best to put that on or turn it off, entirely up to you. You also have extra brightness. This is very useful when you're in a situation when it's super sunny outside, you just need that extra brightness. Flip that on, that helps to improve the brightness. So you get the peak, just a tad bit over the top peak brightness that this phone is actually capable of. Next, we have motion smoothness. So you can have it as adaptive, which gives you that 120 Hz refresh, or we can have it as standard, which is 60 Hz refresh rate. I always have mine on adaptive, which means when I'm gaming, you automatically switch to the maximum frame rate that I can actually get. Scrolling down, we have something called edge panels. So you can turn this on and off. So once you switch it on, there's a little tab that appears on the right side. You can also change the location that it's in, so you can move it to the right or the left side, depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed. The sidebar allows you to change the apps that's there as well for quick access. The edge panel. So here you can also have your recent applications on there, or you can move things around and change what's there. So if we go here, we can see all the apps that's available that's already there. Or if we go back to settings, that little pencil, here we can drag and drop the apps that we want to use. So for example, I don't use Google Meets that often, so I can put Instagram there instead. So that way Instagram's always going to be there for me to access. And this is great because when it comes to the app screen real estate, you have so much apps. There's so many apps that you can put there. So if you don't have enough space, you can use this as an extra screen space to actually put those apps that you access quite often. One cool thing you can also do on here is run applications side by side. So if we go to apps that's run in the background, so for example, I have YouTube here, for example, I can tap the app popped up and then I can do open in split screen. So up top is YouTube and right at the bottom, I can open internet browser internet whilst YouTube's playing up top. This is pretty cool. This is something you can do. You can move it, you can change the sizes and so on. If you tap that little button there at the middle, you can also then swap them around. If you want to swap them around very quickly, you can also tap that favorite, which means you can open this up at a touch of a button. So we can pair this app up and add it to our home screen, or we can add it to the app's edge panel. I add it to the app's edge panel, which means every time I swipe from the side, I can just tap that quick function and open those applications side by side every time. So if you have two applications that you open side by side all the time, this would be really useful for you to set up. So you can just open it up, makes your life easier. Another useful tip is something that can save your battery on the long run. So there's battery care on this as well. So if we go to settings and search, this makes it very quickly to find things, by the way. So in there, search for battery, and we go to battery right up top. Here we can go all the way to the bottom and then go more battery settings. And then we have two things. You got adaptive battery, which means you get better battery life. You'll learn about usage over time and stuff like that. But what's really important is to protect your battery. So that way it limits the maximum charge to 85%. So just like an electric vehicle, limiting the charge so it doesn't go all the way to 100% just means it extends the battery life over time and your battery health is much more better. Just turning that little toggle on. So do that first. Okay, one last thing to do in camera. So if you like to shoot raw format, so if you're a professional photographer or anything like that, if you go into camera, you can switch on raw mode. So go to settings right in the corner and then go to the bottom, advanced picture settings, pro mode, and then just make sure you toggle on raw format, because otherwise you could be shooting amazing photos, it doesn't save it in raw format, which means when you try and edit it later on, you don't have as much information to play with. So toggle that onto raw and JPEG or just purely raw format. That depends on your phone size, phone memory size, of course, but if you have a large memory size, turn that on and you get a better option there. Okay, one more thing. So when you go into camera, these options at the bottom here, you can actually add more to it as well. So if you go to more, it gives you more options like expert, raw, pro mode, etc. But what you can actually do is place those right at the bottom as well for quick access. So if you press that plus button, here you can drag things into that area. So if you shoot food photos a lot, you can drag food right to the bottom there. So now food is there. So save that. So next time you need to use it, just scroll across the bottom, go to food, now you have food mode ready to go at the tip of your finger. So that's everything you need to do first when you get your new Samsung Galaxy S23. It applies to the S23 Plus and the S23 Ultra as well, so do try those things when you get those devices. But in the meantime, if you have any questions or you have any tip of your own, drop them in the comments area so someone else can learn from you. And if this is your first time around here, please do subscribe, smash the bell notification so you get notified every time we upload a new video like this one up on the channel. And if you're due an upgrade or you're looking for your next smartphone, then check out the link in the description for some amazing deals. So many cost savings available there, so check it out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.